This time of year is very interesting because with the Masters coming up, the Masters is the first of the majors and it's the easiest to prepare for because the last major was in August, the PGA, and there's a long time before we go to Augusta. The other thing is that we always play the same golf course, Augusta National, so you know what to expect. The thing I've found through the years of working with these great players is how much knowledge they have about the course. Mickelson's already been there twice and he will go there one more time before the Masters. He charts the greens, how every putt breaks on every green. He works on all his short game shots around the greens. One of the reasons you've seen Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods win the Masters 7 times is because of the fact their short game is so good, their ability to get the ball up and down, because no matter how well you play, you're going to miss greens there. And it's very closely mown areas around the greens and it requires a different type of shots. And then on the greens are difficult. There's a lot of slopes in them, there's a lot of speed. So you really have to putt on them a lot and you have to chart the way the putts go in your practice rounds. So for Phil, the 2 things he's worked on to get ready for Augusta is number 1, experimenting with drivers. Because there's a lot of right to left shots off the tee at Augusta that if you're a right-handed golfer, if you can turn it around the corner with a little draw, it helps you. Well, it's much easier to control a fade than it is a draw, so Mickelson has a little bit of an advantage off the tees there because that right to left shot for him is a little fade. So we've been working on a club that gives the trajectory he's looking for and him able to shape the ball the way he wants, and he's found a good driver. So I think we'll only see 1 driver in the bag this year, unlike when he won the Masters a few years ago and he had 2 drivers in the bag. If we move on to Dustin Johnson, Augusta is a course that should suit Dustin Johnson's game because he drives it so far, but the weakest link in DJ's game is around the greens. So he's really put in a lot of effort in his pitching and chipping, which is getting a lot better, because to win Augusta you have to chip and pitch the ball very well. If we look at Nick Watney, who's had good finishes at Augusta, he loves the place. It's his favorite tournament, favorite place on all of the planet to go play. And I think what's happened to him in the last couple of years is he's put too much pressure on himself to do well there. So we've talked about just relaxing. He's going to go there before the week of the tournament and practice a little bit. Once again, get used to the greens. They've changed a couple greens. They changed to 8 and 16 and created some new slopes. So it's important to practice on. But Nick Watney is a guy that I think someday will win the Masters because the course suits him. His eye sees a nice right to left draw. He drives the ball very well. And then finally, Gary Woodland, who's one of my newer students, probably the longest hitter in the game. He's always been a left to right player, which doesn't suit itself great for Augusta, but doesn't mean he can't play there. But he's working on changing the flight of his ball and turning his ball from right to left a little more. He's got a lot more work to do, so I'm not sure he'll contend at Augusta, but he has the game to do it. That's how my 4 guys are getting ready. How are your guys doing?